Hey guys, I'm Allison. I'm the Pampered Wife. I got a request from one of you guys to go over my current sunscreen collection. I thought it was a great idea. I've done one before. This one's going to be a little different. First of all, we're heading into spring and we always need to be wearing sunscreen. I wear it every single day, so I don't need to only do these videos at that time of year. Plus, this entire bag is filled with sunscreens. There are different types. Some are tinted, some are powder, some are untinted, some leave a white cast, most don't. So I'm gonna try to figure out what order I'm gonna go in, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. But before we do, please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Any or all of those really helps the channel a lot, and I so appreciate it. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm always giving honest reviews. That's just who I am. I can't help myself. I'm uninhibitedly honest, even when I probably should not be. So if you like honest reviews, honest feedback from a maturing 49-year-old, then you'll probably enjoy my videos. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. First things first, my hair and my face. Okay. Before I get started, I'm going to let you know all of these are zinc oxide, non-nano zinc oxide. They are all physical sunscreens. None of them are chemical. I'll put on the screen if that's different, but as far as I know, and I've laid them out in front of me, so they're pretty much three categories. One is the foundation with SPF or SPF that I use as foundation. And then we go from that, it's an arc. There's some that are tinted that I wear as a sort of foundation because they have enough coverage or tint for me. Then we go into the more clear versions that don't leave a white cast at all, into some that might leave a bit of a white cast. Most of these are favorites. I'll definitely tell you how I feel. I'm gonna start with the makeup ones, the ones that definitely have tint. And we will start with the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30. These are tinted sunscreens. I happen to have two shades. Oh my gosh, my sunglasses are not prescription. We've reached that stage. So I'm gonna wear one as a headband just to keep my hair out of my face, and the other as readers. This is safe for sensitive skin, vegan, cruelty-free, reef-safe mineral sunscreen, alcohol-free. The active ingredient is non-nano zinc oxide, which is 12.6%. This is the foundation that is accepted by the National Eczema Society. I have the shade Melrose and the shade Ocean Park. As you can see, it comes in a squeezy tube. I do like to shake it. It doesn't say that you need to do that, but I just find with all these, even if they don't have tint, the minerally part, I guess, can separate from the lotiony part or the liquid part. So I just find if I haven't used these in a while, all of these, not just this particular product, I do like to shake it first. This is one of my very favorite foundations. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, I have two shades because I had not found my perfect shade, but the finish is gorgeous. I get compliments on my skin when I wear this, and I may probably be able to say that about a couple of these, but I'm going to show you. It is a creamy kind of liquid formula. It'll start to run, but it's not real liquidy, although I live at altitude and it will come oozing out quickly if I'm not careful, or it gets an air bubble in there. This is one of those finishes that I've heard some people describe as dewy and too dewy, and they don't like the shine and dewiness. For me, this just leaves a gorgeous, moisturized, my skin, but way better looking finish. There's no tint, no scent. Look how pretty that is. So for my winter color, I guess Melrose may be all right, because that's Melrose that I just put on. But it is just gorgeous. You see the finish on my skin. I don't find it crazy dewy. Here, when I hold back, obviously on this hand, it's not super dewy. It does, to me, dry down to a nice moisturized finish. It's not at all tacky or sticky. Nothing's gonna stick to it. Makeup applies beautifully over it. It wears beautifully. All of these you should reapply after 2 hours. I'll be honest, I never do that. If I'm going out in the sun, like to the beach or something, yes, I reapply often. And now I'm accidentally wiping my hands on my eyeglass case. Got to get my act together here. All right, so that's the first one. The coverage on this is light to medium. I actually do use enough of this to let it be my sunscreen. I warn you guys, and you'll hear every other person who talks about these foundations that are supposed to be sunscreens, that you shouldn't rely on them as your sunscreen because you'll never use enough. You know, if you go by the 3-finger rule where you put the sunscreen all down your 3 fingers, I definitely use enough because I want the coverage, and I figure, why did I buy it if I'm not going to use it? And I use enough. I don't find it to be too much, those 3 fingers. I do apply it down my neck as well. Now the next one that I would say falls in that category is the Iris and Romeo Best Skin Days. I believe this is SPF 30. This says SPF 25, but I feel like maybe they've updated it because I looked at it. Here I was looking at a different product, which I have here as well. But anyway, I thought it was 30, but it's not. It's 25. SPF 25. Shade 5. This is a travel size. If you buy directly from Iris and Romeo, a lot of times they'll have gift with purchase if you spend enough money, and they'll send you this, or you can buy travel sizes, trial sizes. It's really great. This to me, well, I keep getting carried away wanting to talk about it. Okay, comes in a glass pot with a plastic top. It's like a whipped cream formula. It just doesn't separate, but it reminds me of what I wish Jones Road, what the foundation was. And this has SPF. If you've tried the Jones Road, that one is greasier, wetter, thicker, more emollient. This one, again, I have the shade 5. This might not be the right shade for me at this very moment. I'm gonna put on the other half of my hand. Feels more whipped. It's already drying down. It feels like a moisturizer that your skin is just absorbing. And again, it just feels moisturized on top of the skin. So here it is. A dewy finish, just like the Tower 28, which is on this side. I feel like the Tower 28 side looks smoother and more perfected. And the Better Skin Days looks tinted and moisturized. Not so much perfected, but it's also lovely, very easy. I can put enough of this on to be my only sunscreen, although this one then can get a little bit thicker, so I like to do it in layers. One thin layer, let it dry down, another thin layer, let it dry down. That's usually enough. So that's the only thing about this, is it can build up too much and then just feel too heavy or thick on the face. But if I do it in layers, it's okay. The next one I would put in the foundation category, even though this is not their foundation, is the Suntegrity 5-in-1 Sunscreen Tinted Sunscreen Moisturizer, Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Non-nano Zinc Oxide Sheer Coverage BB Cream with a dewy finish. These are all reef safe or reef friendly, since reef safe is a controversial word. You know, how do you define that? I have the shade Golden Light in this, you know, zinc oxide 20%. Like I said, I have the shade Golden Light. There are only 4 or 5 shades of this. Not good. They don't have a shade for me. The one that's lighter is too light. This one is too gold, but it's an airless pump, which is great. So I don't need to shake it because the air has already been squeezed out, so it keeps it, you know, ready to go. I'm just gonna apply a little bit. This one definitely is meant to be a moisturizer, has skincare ingredients, antioxidants, organic oils, vegan. So here is Golden Light in the Suntegrity Tinted Moisturizer BB Cream. This is completely wrong shade for me. But I can sheer it out, make it work, especially in the summer, even though I turn more pink than gold. This one does have a fair amount of coverage, and it is a dewy finish, whereas I feel like the others are less of a dewy finish. So here's Best Skin Days, here's Tower 28, and here now is the Suntegrity. This is the greasiest of the bunch so far. I definitely have to powder this. I still use it because I like the coverage. It's a light to medium coverage, which is about all I ever want. But I'm less in love with this one than I used to be. It used to be a favorite. Now I'm just trying to use it up. The reasons being the texture is just greasier and thicker, and I can feel it on my skin when I put on the amount that I need to get the full SPF, and also the shade is not right for me. And so there I just have better choices. So that's the least favorite of mine of this foundation group. I do have one more foundation that this one is a powder, but I also love it. It's the Physicians Formula. Airbrushing Pressed Powder. I have the shade Creamy Natural. Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 30. It is important to get broad spectrum, by the way, so it's AVA and AVB rays. If it's just AVB rays, that means that it will protect you from burning from the sun, but it will not prevent the aging effects, like melasma, which I have all these dark spots on the side of my cheeks here, and I've really done a good job fading this one, I think. Or was it over here? One of them in my eyebrow. Anyway, or wrinkles. So if it's not broad spectrum, it's only gonna fight the burning. It's not gonna do the anti-aging stuff that we all want it to do. This one I picked up at my local grocery store. It is flimsier packaging. Let's see how to open it here. Oh, you press this and it opens, and then it also comes with a brush. I think I've tried to use it once, maybe twice. I'm getting rid of that because it's just annoying. But it does have a nice size mirror back here, which is really useful. And I didn't bring a brush out here. All right, we'll try to use this. And I will put it on the other side of my hand. I don't know if that showed up at all. That's the Suntegrity. And over here I put the Physicians Formula. I'm gonna make a little stripe with my finger. Looks like I might be getting hard pan. See how it's kind of shiny or flat in the pan? There it is. If that happens to you, just take a piece of tape, any kind of tape, masking tape works, and put it down on that area and pull it off, and it'll give it a new surface area, and that should take care of it. But here's the shade. It's a skin-like finish that really does kind of airbrush the skin. I love it. I do use a sunscreen underneath that, and then we'll put that on as a foundation. Like when I travel to the beach, I'll pretty much bring a sunscreen and that, and a big fluffy brush, and use that all over my face. Also, I'll put it on my husband, my son. It doesn't have too much of a tint, so they'll let me because it's not greasy or oily or any of that. I actually really love the finish of this too. I'll link everything I'm talking about in the description box, and I'm gonna link it to Physicians Formula website just so I make sure I get the exact right product, although I'm sure you can find it on Amazon and other places. But this is a product that I never hear anybody talk about, and I really think it's great. I think it looks beautiful on the skin, and it has the SPF. If you like a powder foundation, now I do have dry skin and it doesn't dry me out. I was gonna say, if you like a powder foundation, give it a try. I don't know how well it works for oily skin types. The next one, and I've gone and washed my hands, so how do I cover this? There we go. I'm gonna move over just a little to cover the ring light shadow. The next one that we have was a favorite, I believe in 2021. This is the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF 47. Broad Spectrum SPF 47 and Sun Boost ATB. I don't know what that ATB is. I know I've looked into it at one point. I know it has good stuff in it. All of Josie Maran's products are argan oil based, which argan oil alone is great for the skin. This comes in a glass bottle with a pump top. You can see I have used this a lot. I adore this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. I'm gonna try to get a little bit out. It has a sweet scent to it that I really like. It does dissipate. It doesn't bother my allergies, but I do want to let you know that's there. It's more liquidy formula. It is tinted. I probably got too much. A little bit goes a long way. I hope I use enough of this. I feel like I do, but you can see, I mean, I'm going to bring it down my arm. That little bit goes a long way. And then it sinks into the skin. Even though it's argan oil based, it's not greasy or slippery or anything. It's just beautiful. It just perfects my skin some. Makes it good, look skin-like. You know, it doesn't have that chalky SPF, mineral SPF look. None of these do. And the texture's beautiful. It just makes my skin look moisturized and pretty. I love it. The scent is lovely. It's not perfumey or overly floral. It's just a little sweet. I don't know. I really enjoy it. And this is still a very, very favorite. I would say this is the one I reach for the most. I've repurchased it. Well, I was going to say obviously, but maybe not obviously to you. Okay, the next one is the True Botanicals Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Everyday Skin Tint. I recently showed this in a video that I will link. I have the shade 6. This one is 18% zinc oxide. The directions on this one do actually say to shake well, and I've put it on without shaking it. It is a ginormous difference in the texture, the color, the wear, all of it. But it's also glass. This one's a milky white glass with the pump top. Feels a little more luxurious. It's also much more expensive. And it comes in different shades, whereas the Josie Maran comes in one shade. She makes other sunscreens, but that's the one that I like. This is the shade 6, also a bit dark for me, and a little too golden. I don't even know how I chose this. Like, the description online is like something gold, and I'm not gold. If anything, I'm neutral, possibly cool toned. Anyway, it is creamy, like a whipped cream. As you can see, it's not at all liquidy. Rubbing it in though, it feels much thinner. This one feels maybe more lotiony, like it doesn't feel light and whipped. And unfortunately, it's way too dark, and I know that skews the perception of how it looks on the skin maybe, or how it is. But there that is rubbed out. So here is the Josie Maran, and here's the True Botanicals. The True Botanicals dries down almost completely, and I really appreciate that about this one. Otherwise, there's nothing special about it to me. I would not spend the money on this one again unless a formula drying completely down is important to you. I don't know about oily skin types or combination skin types. I have dry skin, as I mentioned, and on me this dries down completely. I haven't worn it alone because the tint is all wrong for me, but under makeup it wears really nicely. Over an oil it wears really nicely. All of these work well with all my other products actually. I'll let you know the one that I know of that doesn't play nicely with others. I feel like the True Botanicals more like has a sheen to it than it does make my skin look beautiful and moisturized, whereas the Josie Maran makes it look beautiful, smoothed, and just a little perfected, but my skin. This doesn't look like makeup or anything, but it dries down and looks more sheeny than it does perfected. It doesn't look like it has glitter or anything. I don't know that I'm explaining that well. Leave a comment if you've tried it and what you think of it. It definitely is a nice product. I think for me, for the price point, I was just a little disappointed, and True Botanicals is just such an exceptional line that I was just expecting more. Okay, last of the tinted is the Tula Skincare Mineral Magic. It is probiotics and superfood, UVA, UVB protection, SPF 30. This one you also have to shake well. And there is the ball in there that you can hear. This one is, it's sort of fun. It's like a rubberized plastic, so it doesn't slip out of your hands easily, which is nice as we grow older, but also like at the beach. Whoop, it's come oozing out because again, I'm at a higher altitude, but it has the squeeze top. I got way too much. I'll just put it on my arm. All right, so it does have like an orange tint. It looks really yellow. I'm gonna take a bunch of that off and put it on this arm, which I will rub in momentarily. It is a much thinner formula. It's not at all greasy. It's more watery, not quite gel-like, but like a watery lotion. This is one that is super easy to wear, goes well, really well under makeup, dries down. You can almost not even detect it on the skin. And I'm just gonna rub this in. I mean, can you even tell really which half my hand it's on? Okay, maybe I didn't rub it in so well over the side. But if you didn't see me rub it in, it's almost undetectable. My skin just looks a little more perfected. But to touch it, my skin just feels smooth. It doesn't even feel particularly moisturized like these two do. It's just more smooth. This one does have titanium dioxide 3.6% and zinc oxide 2.34%. This one is oil-free. I don't know what's going on upstairs. Oh, by the way, I do have on the new RMS lip liner and a Mob Beauty bronzer and the new Live Tinted eyeliner. I'm gonna go over those in another video if you guys are interested in learning about those. Okay, this is the Iris and Romeo Weekend Skin SPF 50 Vitamin C Glow Broad Spectrum Sunscreen. This one is definitely meant to be skincare. I've looked at the ingredients and bought this because I'm not currently using a vitamin C or any other actives other than my retinol from Maya Chia. So I wanted to get this in my routine. This is actually what I have on today, and I put just a little bit of concealer here, you know, here, just the usual concealer places. But otherwise, this is what I have on, and I do like that it's a higher SPF. It is an airless pump tube again. I like that. You can wear this under even the best skin days. You can wear it under makeup in general. I've only had this for a few days, but so far I'm really enjoying it. It is a bit tinted, but it's supposed to about to be no tint. Now this feels like a creamy moisturizer. Probably, it doesn't dry down all the way. Like I can still feel it where I didn't apply any powder products, because like I said, I do have on the Mob Beauty bronzer through here. This has no scent. I was telling you if it has a scent. There was just the one, the Josie Maran's the only one that was scented. But here it is right here, and it's just a nice skin finish. It really doesn't tint much. It doesn't perfect much. If anything, it just leaves a glow like it says. Otherwise, there's really nothing to it except a moisturized feeling. So if you're looking for something that is purely skincare, that has SPF in it, I think this is a great recommendation. Again, I'll link it below. It's now sold at Credo. I forgot to mention that. Iris and Romeo is now sold at Credo, which is, I'm thrilled to see. I'm thrilled for the brand, and I'm thrilled for it to be available to more people. So I would definitely check this one out if this kind of thing appeals to you like it does to me. That's the one I've been reaching for every day. I think I have to go wash my hands again. I'll be right back. I hope this format's been good. I'm trying not to go too in detail with each product. Sometimes I forget and I get a little carried away, but then I remember and I reel myself back in. I'm glad to answer any questions in the comment section down below. We're moving into the untinted, like completely untinted SPFs that I have, starting with the Pipette Mineral Sunscreen Broad SPF 50. I believe this is a mini size, a little travel size. I do shake this one because I did find that I hadn't used it in a while and it separated, like just oil came out and then some of the white came out. So I do like to shake this one. It is in plastic, a little squeeze tube, twist off the top, and I'm just gonna put a little dot right there. So you see it's white, again, no scent. This one is a lot thinner than I always expect it to be. Rubs in like a lotion, feels nice, a little bit more liquidy than I expect. Doesn't really leave a white cast, but a little bit. You can see that. It's not terrible, but it's definitely there. So for me, this one is reserved for pool days, beach days, definitely under makeup days. I feel like it's, even though it's a light formula, it's occlusive. If I start to get hot, I can feel it melting off my face. You know, that's just not the best. I mean, maybe all sunscreens do that, I don't know, but I've definitely noticed it with this one, almost like it's suffocating my skin more than the other ones. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's definitely not a favorite and not one that I will repurchase. The one that's closest to that, in my opinion, is the Kinship Self-Reflect Probiotic Moisturizing Sunscreen. This one also is broad spectrum SPF 32. This is one that people were so excited about when it was released, and I kind of fell for it too, and I have repurchased it once or twice. Let me go ahead and put it on the back of my hand right here. So it is tinted a little bit peachy maybe, and it's like a whipped consistency. Now this is a thicker one. It is heavy on the skin. It's not white like the Pipette, sorry for the background noise, and it's definitely sheeny. This also I wouldn't repurchase because it is thick. If you like a heavy moisturized feeling, you will like this, but for me, I don't. It's thick and too shiny, and I just don't like the way it feels on my face, and so I will not be repurchasing either of these two. Now these next two I adore. The first one is the Clarks Botanicals Invisible Hero SPF 30 Anti-Aging Sunscreen with Hyaluronic Acid PA+++. I have talked about this on my channel before. I'm a huge fan of the founder of this line, Clarks Botanicals. Again, I'll link this below. Click on it, read his story. He's an amazing human being. This comes in an airless pump, plastic, remove the top. It does have a bit of a, I don't even know if it's scented, but I can smell it. It's just like a nice, light, fresh scent. It's really nice. Like, I keep going back to smell it. And this feels like a nicer cream lotion that you'd put on your face. It's emollient, it blends in nicely, there's no tugging or pulling, it's not drying down too quickly, and I got too much probably for that little area, so I'm just gonna rub in. So here that is. This one is also a skincare type product. Again, all of them are, but just some are more than others. It's just a lovely moisturizer SPF. This one's definitely a moisturizer. This one is intended to be a moisturizer and skincare product with the hyaluronic acid, and it's really just beautiful and leaves your skin moisturized and dewy. And again, wears well under everything. It doesn't really change the look of your skin, it just moisturizes it. We now have the dog next to me chewing on a bone. So the next one I thought was a good comparison to the Clarks Botanicals. This is the Mary and May Cica Smoothing Sun Cream for sensitive skin, soothing, moisturizing care, whitening, and anti-wrinkle, 50 plus SPF, PA plus 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 plus. This is an Asian skincare line, I believe Korean. I'm gonna shake this one. This also, I remember, is scented. So it's plastic. This one is not airless. It does have a squeeze tube. I'm gonna try to get just a little bit out. You can see it's white, but it is a lotion. So it's a thinner formula as well. It's not as moisturizing as the Clarks Botanicals or as emollient, you know, it doesn't feel quite as elegant. It definitely has a scent, and I think it is a scent as opposed to just how it smells, but I'm not positive about that. Again, it doesn't bother me. And this one's just nice. It's just a nice lightweight, super lightweight SPF that doesn't leave a cast, just like the Clarks. It's not as dewy. Here's the Clarks over here. You know, the Clarks is really a moisturizer, whereas this one is just a very lightweight, comfortable SPF, barely detectable on my skin tone, wears great under things, just very comfortable and easy, and that's a great lightweight everything kind of product. This is the Summer Fridays Shade Drops Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Mineral Milk Sunscreen. This one is clean at Sephora, as was the Tula. I believe we have to shake this one. It says this lightweight mineral sunscreen glides over skin like a serum. Skincare benefits, enriched with vitamin, antioxidant, soothing chamomile, reef friendly. Okay, it doesn't say whether or not to shake it, but I'm going to anyway. You can hear it's very liquidy. It is described as a serum. It's a plastic container. Interesting, you know, square, which is actually kind of nice, like travels easily, fits in things easily, and it's got the drip top. You can see it just comes right out, and it is totally liquid. Oh, it's actually not really dripping down. Interesting. It's sort of yellow colored, you know, kind of like the Tula was that peachy color, and the Kinship was a peachy color as well. This one's sort of a yellowy color. Very, very thin, watery feeling, thicker than water, but yeah, watery feeling. Rubs out easily. It's not like slick or slippery, but there's no tugging or pulling. It just really blends right into the skin. It's drying down. I'm gonna give it a second to dry down. And then there you have it. No white cast. It's on this side of the hand. Definitely adds some sheen, but it's very smooth. Texture-wise, I would say it's about the same as the Tula. These are both really liquidy, although the Tula's thicker. They're both really liquidy, a little tinted, and maybe I should have put these two side by side. The Summer Fridays, it dries down to nothing and leaves your skin feeling smooth, not particularly moisturized, nothing heavy, pretty much undetectable once it's on the skin. Then the total opposite is Le Prunier Plum Screen SPF 31 Broad Spectrum. Let's see, HEV protection, which I don't know what that is. It's PA+++. Comes in aluminum packaging, which I've talked about being wonderful for the environment. Love the idea of it. I hate it for my particular climate because I live at altitude, stuff comes oozing out, and you can't suck it back in when it comes to an aluminum tube. Let's see how we do here. Well, this one looks okay. It's sort of a white, I don't know that it's a chalky color, but I already forgot. What did I put on? Oh no, okay, I put the Summer Fridays here. So I'm gonna go ahead and Put a little bit here. See, it's sort of a chalky color. My dog is very pleased. He finished his bone. He's just looking for more of it. What is this called again? Plum Screen by Le Prunier. Le Prunier makes that amazing, fantastic plum oil that is expensive, exquisite, gorgeous, amazing. Nothing bad to say there except it's very expensive. This is their sunscreen that they came out in the past maybe 6 months. It again feels high-end when you rub it in. Like you can just feel kind of like the Clark's Botanicals. You can just feel it feels richer, nicer, a little more emollient. I do get a teensy tiny bit of that plum scent, but the oil has that plum scent that's just gorgeous. Anyway, here it is on the skin, right here. And it just leaves the skin moisturized feeling. It's not heavy, it's comfortable. It's really quite nice. Unless you put any kind of serum on under it or anything over it. Like, I find it incredibly finicky and it pills. Of all the sunscreens I've just talked about, and I've got one more to talk about, this is the only one I've ever had a problem with. It's expensive and I know it's meant to pair with their oil, but I think I've even had trouble using it over that. They say if you use a water-based product, let it dry down completely and then put this plum screen on over it and you won't have a problem. Like, the brand has come out and announced that because so many people have complained. I've not found that to be the case. This, no matter how nice it is on its own, and it is nice. It is nice. My skin feels moisturized and smooth. Again, it doesn't change, you know, it doesn't perfect my skin or do anything like that. It just moisturizes it a little bit. Here's the Summer Fridays. They both add a little dewiness. Yeah, I would not get this one again. It's just too finicky for me. And I don't want to think that hard about mixing and matching my products. Now, if you are a one product kind of person, like you use the plum oil or an oil, you'll put this on top. You know, this could work beautifully for you. I'm always trying different things. I can't often remember what I put on earlier that went underneath this, or when I go pick out my foundation, I don't remember that I have this on and need to choose very carefully. Like, that's just too much work for me. I want to concentrate on other things, not whether or not my SPF is going to pair well with my skincare and makeup. So I would not get this again. Finally, my #1 recommendation, if you're only going to get one sunscreen out of all these sunscreens, I would recommend the Hero Force Shield Super Light Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 30. Did any of you guess this? I should have had you guess and then said leave it in the comment section. Let me know what you thought my favorite was gonna be. I'm curious. This is from Target. It's inexpensive. It's that Hero line. They make the Mighty Patches, I think is what they're called. This is an airless pump. It's plastic. Squeeze tube. It's actually kind of neat because it's this kind of cylinder shape. Try not to get too much. There it is. This one has a green tint. I hope you can see that. Oh, I'm putting it on top of something. Oh well, it's the last one. We'll put it on top. So here it is as I'm rubbing it in. This is like a lightweight whipped lotion kind of feel. It's not watery, it's not runny, it's not super emollient, but it doesn't feel, it's a nice texture. Not super luxurious, but just nice. It rubs in nicely, it leaves no cast on me. It's not too dewy. So, I mean, it's not super dewy. And it doesn't feel heavy, it's comfortable. My son will wear this. Like, he's the pickiest, and he will wear this. Absolutely no scent. Honestly, it wears well all the time under things. I can wear it alone. This one is just fantastic. Every time I use it, I'm blown away by how comfortable it is on the skin. Lightweight, how well it works, it's effective, all the things. So that is my #1 pick out of everything. Definitely of the untinted. Most people are just looking for an SPF to be an SPF, and if that's all you're looking for, I would recommend this one. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I gave enough information to help you make some choices. Actually, we'll be picking up more sunscreens and trying more over time. I just know it, even though I'm always like, no, I'm not getting any right now. So if there's a suggestion you have for me, let me know. I'd love to try more soon, especially with summer coming. I'd love to read your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please do give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, I hope you find some time to pamper yourself today. Bye. Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Yeah?